Hello, and welcome to Release Readiness Live. I'm Elna Miller, your Release Readiness champion. We are broadcasting from our home studios this week as we bring you some of the new features from the Summer 20 release. After our product managers give the highlights, we'll take some of your questions live and on the air. So we will be monitoring both the Release Readiness Trailblazers community as well as Twitter. So if you do have a question, please post it in one of those places. Use the hashtag Salesforce Live. And if you can ask the question earlier in the webcast, that would be really helpful. If we don't get your question live and on the air, don't worry, we will follow up with you within the next few days. All of our webcasts will be available for later viewing on the Salesforce Live website. Now, we may be talking about the roadmap or making some forward-looking statements. So please make sure that any purchasing decisions you make are based on currently available functionality. Now let's get started with the Sales Cloud and meet our product managers.
Hi everyone, my name is Arya Niazi. I'm a product manager within our core Sales Cloud team. I'm excited to show you some of the great new features we've built for you in this upcoming release.
We start off with opportunity management. Opportunity Splits is a team selling feature that makes it easier to share revenue with your sales teams. In the Summer 20 release, we've increased our split limit from 5 to 8, giving you the ability to meet more complex team selling business requirements. Next, for opportunities, we've also brought big deal alerts to Lightning. This is a classic feature that allows you to send email notifications when large opportunities are created. Now, I'll be honest, you can accomplish much of this functionality by using platform tools like Process Builder. But based on your feedback and adoption of big deal alerts in Classic, we decided to fully bring this feature to Lightning. Moving on to territory management, the Summer 20 release is all about giving you more control. First, we're giving you the ability to rename territory objects and field labels. For example, if your company calls sales territories districts, change the territories label to districts. The custom labels replace instances of territory and territories on the end user pages. Also, in this release, you'll be able to access options for territory opportunity assignments. Now you can choose the access level that users get to the opportunities assigned to their territories, child territories. For example, let's say you set the child level access to view and edit. Now users can edit the opportunities assigned to their territories, child's territories. As you might remember, in the Spring 20 release, we retired more than 55,000 idea exchange points and made task management in CRM more collaborative by letting users assign tasks to a queue. But this capability was only limited to tasks created from the task object home. So with the Summer 20 release, we've extended the functionality to cover quick actions too. As a side note, we're also running a closed pilot for reps to receive tasks and event reminders as push notifications via the Salesforce mobile app. If you're interested, we recommend that you reach out to your account teams. Next, I'm excited to share some great new Kanban enhancements with you. I might be biased because my team worked on this feature, but I really think your users will love these new capabilities. Kanban will allow you to display your records in a visual summary card format. In the Summer 20 release, we're giving you access to configure key fields and guidance for Kanban. These are the same key fields and guidance you'll see on Path, which gives your users a consistent experience when updating records in Kanban and Path. Now users can inline edit the important fields and review company best practices when using Kanban. And while we're talking about Kanban, I'm excited to let you know that based on your positive feedback on Path celebrations, we've exposed the same confetti animation on Kanban view. I can't wait to show you this one in a demo. Lastly, in the Summer 20 release, you can enjoy the full desktop version of Lightning experience on your iPad using Safari. Lightning on iPad is GA and available for all editions of Salesforce. Finally, before we jump into the demo, I'd like to give you a sneak peek into some of the core Sales Cloud features we're working on for the future. We start off with Deal Motion, which refers to visual indicators that show changes made to an opportunity amount and close date fields. You can see initial designs of this feature on the slide image. Also on the roadmap, we plan to support lookup fields on the opportunity product object, tasks and event reminder notifications for your mobile app, and more flexible forecasting capabilities, as well as forecasting on mobile. These are just a few of the many roadmap features that I wanted to highlight. For our demo, let's start off in setup. We begin by using Quick Find to search for opportunity splits. You can see we currently have 6 split types, which is more than our previous limit of 5 splits. If you click Edit Split Types, you can see that we can create 2 more split types for a new total of 8. With this increased limit, you can now meet more complex team selling use cases for revenue sharing. Now, let's jump back into Quick Find and search for big deal alerts. On this page, you have the ability to configure an email alert to be sent out to your users when an opportunity amount threshold is met. This is a simple feature that will help make sure your biggest deals don't fall through the cracks. Once again, let's jump back into Quick Find and search for renamed tabs and labels. If you scroll down, you can see territories as an editable option. Let's click Edit and see how you can rename the fields and labels. For example, you can rename territories to districts, if that terminology makes more sense for your business. You have control to use whatever terminology makes the most sense to your end users. Now let's go into Lightning and check out a few new features for your end users. We start off on the Opportunity Kanban view. But before I can update my deals, I remember that I need someone on my team to send one of my customers a quote while I'm out on vacation. So I used a global action to create a task. But rather than assigning it to a person, I can assign it to a West Coast sales team queue. That way, whoever has bandwidth can pick it up and send the quote to my customer. Great, that job is done. I can now move on to updating my opportunities. As I was saying, you can see that I'm on the Opportunity tab and in Kanban view. Here, I can drag and drop my opportunities in order to update the stages. But the reality is that I almost always update multiple fields at once. This means dragging and dropping alone doesn't meet my needs. That's exactly why we've added key fields and guidance to Kanban in the Summer 20 release. Now, in the Kanban header options, you'll see a new icon. When you click it, a side panel will open up and give you access to your key fields and guidance. So for this advanced production deal, I can quickly update my next steps. Then I can move on to the next record and update the next steps there. And so on and so on. But that's not it. I also have access to my guidance. Let's click on the AB partner deal and see what I need to do. Here you can see stage-specific company best practices and tips and tricks that I can use to move my deals forward. This is a powerful way for your reps to get more done in Kanban view. Now they can do so much more without having to click into each individual record and create multiple tabs in order to fill out additional fields. Finally, let's end on a positive note. Let's close the deal and see how you can help your reps celebrate success. We got confetti. And don't worry, your reps will only see this one time per Kanban load. So if a rep closes 10 deals at the end of the month, they won't be drowning in confetti. That brings me to the end of my demo.
I hope you liked what you saw. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on the community or on Twitter. And now I'm going to pass it to Maddie to tell you more about email.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maddie Gill, and I'm a product manager here in the Sales Cloud. You might recognize me from previous release readinesses. I've been able to cover the email portion of the Sales Cloud release readiness for the past 3 years about. So I'm excited to jump in and show you what's new this release. So with our Outlook and Gmail integrations, reps can access the best of Salesforce right where they're working in either Outlook or Gmail. When an inbox license is added to the Outlook and Gmail integrations, reps receive access to a host of productivity and intelligence tools in the same integration. this release, we've made some exciting enhancements to these productivity tools. We know that reps send emails and communicate with customers from both their Outlook or Gmail and in Lightning, and it's important to have the information about when customers are engaging in both places. So, to that end, we've replaced the old Tracking tab in the Outlook and Gmail integrations with a new Feed tab that unifies tracking information across Outlook or Gmail, the Lightning experience, and high-velocity sales. So now, when reps send an email from Outlook or Gmail, or from Lightning email with email tracking, they'll be able to view that engagement information everywhere. And for reps working in Gmail with an inbox license, they can now insert their favorite snippets of text by typing a keyboard code when composing an email, instead of having to click through the text shortcuts tool in the side panel. Being able to insert these snippets of text without leaving the email composer saves reps a ton of time and prevents the burdensome context switching that can happen. Some reps, however, prefer to send their emails from Lightning. And of course, we've got some exciting enhancements this release for those who do. For inside sales reps using high-velocity sales, they'll now be able to send their cadence emails as replies to previously sent emails, giving their recipients a conversational view of the thread. So when a manager creates a new sales cadence, the manual email steps added to that cadence can be defined so that the content is threaded on top of previous email steps. That's a powerful way to create a sense of continuity and conversation with the prospect, rather than having to start a brand new email chain for every single email step in an HVS cadence. In addition, reps with a high-velocity sales or inbox license can now view the full list of email engagement on email records. So when a sales rep navigates to an email detail page, they can now see the complete list of engagements that have been generated from that email, for example, email opens and link clicks, giving them insight into their engagement history with the customer and enabling them to prioritize who to work with next and the best steps for following up. So what's coming next for Salesforce's email integrations? Well, sales reps who work with the Outlook and Gmail integrations with an inbox license love the Insert Availability tool, which allows them to select free times from their calendar to send over to prospects, streamlining the tedious meeting scheduling process. Because reps want to be able to automate the scheduling process when sending emails from Lightning as well, we're introducing the Insert Availability tool in Lightning too. So when reps send an email in the Lightning email composer with an inbox or high-velocity sales license, they can easily select times from their calendar to send to prospects and have a meeting invite automatically generated when the prospect selects the time that works best for them. In addition, for reps using the Outlook integration and who have access to a delegate access mailbox or calendar in Outlook, they'll now be able to use the Outlook integration to log emails and events over into Salesforce. So previously, if a sales rep was working out of a delegate or shared mailbox or calendar, they weren't able to use the integration. But now in the future releases, they'll be able to log those emails and events over into Salesforce. So now I'm going to dive into a demo. I'm a sales rep who works in both Salesforce and in my Outlook or Gmail email, and I use both tools to build customer relationships. I usually start my day in Gmail to check up on important emails I may have missed and to respond to customers. So this morning, I've got a new email from a lead I reached out to last week, looking to get some more product information. I get similar requests a lot, so I have a snippet of text I like to use that saves me time when responding to these prospects. Using a simple keyboard code that I've defined, I can easily insert a snippet of text into the email without ever having to leave the context of that email. This saves me time and keeps me focused on the important communication. So now that I've responded to that important email, I head over into Salesforce to see what I've got on my plate for the day. As an inside sales rep, I use the high-velocity sales work queue to prioritize my day and work through calls and emails to prospects and leads. I often need to send follow-up emails to a previous email I've sent, and it's great to have my recipient receive those emails in a threaded conversational view. Luckily, my manager has configured the cadence so I can do just that. So as a manager creating a new sales cadence, I can add a manual email step and define it so that the content is threaded on top of previous email steps. For example, I've started a first call cadence here for my reps. The first email I want them to send is an introductory email. And then I want to add another email step for reps to send as a follow-up to the first. When I create this new manual email step, I can select the Add to Email Thread checkbox here, which means that when a rep sends this follow-up email, it will be sent to the recipient in the same thread as that first email. I've easily enabled my reps to conduct more of a conversation with their prospects rather than sending one-off emails. So that's the exciting new functionality we have in store for our email integration users in Summer 20. And now I'm going to hand it over to Ajay, who will talk about high velocity sales.
Hi all, my name is Ajay Shah and I'm a product manager on Salesforce High Velocity Sales. Today, I'm super excited to share with you some highlights from our Summer 20 release. Let's jump right in. First off, we have a number of exciting updates to our Cadence Builder. This includes new Cadence access controls through grouping and foldering, expanded exit criteria to ensure prospects are in the right cadences based on their engagements, and the ability to branch cadences on email replies to deliver personalized prospecting. Next, we have leveraged Einstein activity capture to provide real-time alerts for email engagements and extract insights from customer emails. New is also the ability to view and send emails as a thread so reps can maintain context throughout their prospect engagements. And finally, the ability to skip cadence wait steps so reps can reach out on their own terms. Let's jump right into a demo so I can show all of this in action. Throughout this demo, I will be assuming two roles. First, I will play the role of our sales manager, who is responsible for configuring HVS for his sales team, and then we'll switch roles to our pipeline builder, who is responsible for generating opportunities by prospecting. Let's start with our sales manager persona and dive into what's new for Summer 20. First off, we have added the ability to organize and share sales cadences. We utilize the power of the Salesforce platform foldering model to make it familiar and easy for managers to configure. In addition to organizing cadences, we included standard Salesforce sharing rules and permissions to control access to each cadence folder. In the sharing settings, Chris is able to quickly set up sharing rules for this folder. We can see that Chris Wallace is the manager of the folder, meaning he can share, edit, and create new cadences within this folder. For this specific folder, Chris decided to grant restricted access to everyone in the sales org. Thus, everyone can see the cadence, but they have no ability to edit or share the cadences. Chris, our sales manager, can also easily add more sharing rules. He can choose who to share the cadences with based on their role, group, or even territory. For the Summer 20 release, we are releasing this feature under a closed beta and are actively recruiting participants. So please reach out to your AE or the HVS PM team to try it out. Continuing as Chris, our superstar sales manager, let's dive into some enhancements we made to sales cadences. First off, sales managers are now able to configure cadence email steps to send the cadence emails as a thread to make it easy for sales reps to maintain a high level of context throughout their interactions with their various prospects. Here, we see a simple cadence, where the first touch is an automated email, followed by manual emails with a one-day wait between emails. The goal of this cadence is to create first customer engagement. On the second email touch, Chris is able to select the option to send this email as a thread for each prospect that is added to this cadence. By doing so, Chris will ensure all prospect engagement is tracked in one email view, and he's not overburdening his customers. Since Chris set up this cadence with the goal of receiving a customer response, he wants the lead or contact to exit the cadence once they reply. Chris can easily configure this exit criteria to ensure the prospect is always in the right cadence based on their engagement. In this case, Chris chooses to exit on reply and on hard and soft bounce. This automatic process makes it easy for Chris to ensure this cadence is accomplishing the goal it was designed to, generate a customer reply. Let's now take a look at one final new feature that managers can use to assist their reps with prospect engagement. Chris can now add a branch on email reply listener following any email action. This enables Chris to empower his reps to create personalized journeys for their customers based on prospect engagement. To do so, Chris can select the listener action, set a listen time, and boom, a new branch based on the email reply is created. Chris chooses to add a call action on the yes branch to ensure his reps are meaningfully connecting with a prospect when there is a positive engagement signal, and an automated email send on the no branch to retry to gain an email response. This new feature grants reps the ability to tailor their messaging and outreach based on prospect engagement. So, I just showed you all the enhancements we made to give sales managers expanded control and flexibility when building sales cadences, including the ability to organize and share cadences, create exit criteria, and branch the cadence based on email replies. Now let's shift gears to our pipeline builder persona. As a pipeline builder, they are primarily responsible for prospecting by converting leads and contacts to opportunities. Let's dive into some new features available in this release to streamline this process and ensure impactful, timely engagement. Jake is in the Summer Jams cadence. We can see that the last step he completed in the cadence was the automated email send intro from the cadence step card. A pipeline builder can look at the activity timeline to see that Jake has replied to the email. In addition to their response, the rep can see that there was also an insight detected. When the rep expands the email, they're able to see their past email engagement with Jake, and intelligent insights are surfaced at the top. They can see that a meeting has been set without having to read through the entire email. These intelligent insights make it simple for the pipeline builder to maintain high level of context with each prospect as they burn through their task list. When the rep clicks into the email, they will see a threaded view of the email with their initial contact at the bottom and Jake's response on top. From this view, the rep is able to view any insights as well as track prospect engagement through the email open date on their sent emails. Now, if you remember from earlier, Chris, our sales manager, had set up this cadence to exit when the customer replies. Since Jake replied, this cadence was automatically completed for this prospect. Now, let's take a look at another prospect, Claire. Claire is currently sitting in a wait step. However, this wait step is 16 hours and still has many hours remaining. But our pipeline builder wants to reach out now and move the prospect to the next step in the cadence. We're able to skip the wait, giving them greater control of the engagement process. Now that the wait step has been skipped, they are able to complete the next step in the cadence by sending an email to the prospect via the cadence step card. Here, our rep sees the email template that is set up with the cadence step at the top. And if they scroll down, their past email engagements with Claire appear as a thread to ensure they maintain a high level of context throughout the engagement. The pipeline builder sends the email and the cadence advances. Now you have seen part 2 of the Summer 20 release, our features that are designed to increase context and ability to personalize engagements for our pipeline builder personas. You saw how Einstein Activity Capture is able to extract intelligent insights from emails, the ability to view and send threaded emails, and enhance wait steps that can be manually skipped. Altogether, we are incredibly excited to get these new features for both sales managers and pipeline builders into your hands. Additionally, we are excited to unveil some new features we have planned for the next few releases. First, we have organizing and sharing your sales cadences will be going GA next release. As mentioned earlier, it is currently released via a beta, and we are looking for participants, so please reach out if you're interested in participating. Next, let's say you need to reassign this cadence to someone else in your team. Maybe you're going on vacation, or maybe you want to pass the lead to someone with a different skill set than yourself. We'll offer this ability to reassign cadences soon. Thirdly, and similarly, let's say your prospect is out of office, or your prospect tells you now is not a good time to call back in a week. We'll let you pause the cadence and resume later when it's convenient for you and your prospect. Furthermore, through opportunity attribution, you can understand which sales cadences have the most influence on number of deals closed and revenue generated, so you can focus on the ones that are working best for you. Finally, alongside sales cadences, which aims to help pipeline builders focus on structured next steps, a new My Feed and Work Queue enables pipeline builders to react based on engagements so they can reach out to customers at the right moment. With 4 different types of alerts available, every tracked email will provide insights into opens, clicks, and replies. Alerts will also be generated when a new record is assigned so that inbound leads can be acted on immediately. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and please reach out to me with any questions you have regarding high velocity sales. Now I'm going to toss it over to Rami to give you a quick overview of Einstein Call Coaching.
Hi everyone, my name is Rami Sigal. I'm a Senior Product Manager with the Einstein Platform Services team. I'm super excited to be here in my first Release Readiness Live, announcing Einstein Call Coaching for high-velocity sales. Let's dive right in. I'd like to start by providing the motivation behind this new product. With more and more teams shifting to remote selling, more meetings than ever are conducted via phone calls. A typical sales development team may have thousands of conversations with prospects every week. Managers can't always walk the halls to provide instant feedback. So how can managers guide their team to hold engaging conversations? And how do they know what customers are saying about their business and needs? Sales managers often spend hours trying to find calls they can learn from, trying to find coachable moments. Well, high velocity sales now has an AI that is reading through those conversation transcripts and giving key insights that matters. Einstein Call Coaching is a new capability in high velocity sales that leverages the power of AI to analyze inside sales teams' call recordings and surface insights and coachable moments to sales managers. Einstein Call Coaching is a new capability in high velocity sales that leverages the power of AI to analyze inside sales teams' call recordings and surface insights and coachable moments to sales managers. Einstein Call Coaching integrates seamlessly with Lightning Dialer and Tenfold for other CTI providers, aggregating all your sales conversation recorded with consent into one single dashboard. With the power of AI, Einstein Call Coaching surfaces insights and coachable moments in customer calls, like competitor mentions and pricing discussion, or product mentions and next steps, opening up new opportunities. Sales managers can easily pick any keyword or topic they would like to listen to, and jump directly to the relevant parts of the conversation where this keyword or topic is mentioned. The player also shows the talk-to-listen ratio. You probably know by intuition that speaking less and encouraging your prospect to talk more most often drives win rates upwards. Now, sales managers have the tools to quantify and evaluate the impact of active listening on sales qualification rates. Finally, sales managers can take a reference of the best calls and use the playbacks in order to coach other members of the team. With that, let's see a quick demo. To begin streaming your calls into Salesforce, open the call coaching setting page. All you need is to connect at least one recording provider in one click. In this case, we've enabled Lightning Dialer. Call Insights has two types of insights: keyword-driven, defined by the sales team, and automatic insights that come out of the box. Now let's add a few competitor names and product names that are important to our org, and create custom insights for when words or phrases relevant to our teams are mentioned. Under Competitor Mentioned, we can add the exact company names that we'd like to track, including numbers, periods, and apostrophes. We also have the option to track the competitor name only when it was mentioned by the sales rep, by the customer, or by any participant in the call. This information allows sales managers to learn more about objections that come up in the conversation and how reps handle those objections. The same keyword setup applies to product mentions. Sales managers are now able to get a better understanding on how their reps are talking about the product they sell, or questions that customers ask about the products. With custom insights, we have the flexibility to track any keyword, phrase, or topic. For example, we can track a single keyword like budget, or define a wider topic like challenges and include a list of keywords or phrases under this topic. Finally, automatic insights are out-of-the-box insights that don't require any configuration. Next steps are captured automatically when follow-ups, scheduling, or action items are mentioned in calls, and pricing mentions are captured when quotes, discussions related to cost, payment terms, or purchase orders are mentioned in calls. Managers can easily visualize these insights in their Einstein Call Coaching dashboard, where they can see individuals, team aggregates, and how keyword mentions are trending. Then managers can drill to the list of calls with those mentions. Clicking into that call enables the manager to see the speaker track and the talk-to-listen ratio, giving them an idea of the rhythm of the conversation. Plus, managers no longer have to listen to the entire call to find important moments. The timestamps help them skip ahead easily to where the keywords are mentioned. With Einstein call coaching, coaching moments become focused and tailored to make sure every rep is performing to the best of their ability. Einstein call coaching is available now to all high-velocity sales customers. That brings me to the end of my demo. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and I look forward to hearing your questions. Thank you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Sharon.
Hi everyone, my name is Sharon Gorloveski and I'm a product manager at the Sales Cloud Einstein team. I am super excited to take you through Sales Cloud Einstein and Productivity Summer 20th release updates. Customer 360 is one of our main themes. It's about knowing your customer and having intelligent and individualized interactions with your customers across all touchpoints. Sales Cloud Einstein is a key piece of Customer 360 because it makes your teams smarter and help you get 360 view of your customer. We achieve this by supporting three pillars: sales productivity, which is about helping your sales reps maximize their efficiency; actionable insights, which provides your team with critical AI insights that will save time on planning and strategizing; forecast accuracy, which give you insights into the future of your pipeline and provide a breakdown of where future revenue will come from. Now, sales organization can sell smarter with Sales Cloud Einstein, the number one sales intelligence and productivity solution for Sales Cloud. Einstein Opportunity Scoring helps sales reps focus on the right deals every time. It analyzes past opportunities to create a model that predicts which opportunities are most likely to be won. Each opportunity is given a score from 1 to 99, which is available on opportunity records, list views, and reports. Einstein also shows the factors that have contributed the most to the score, both positive and negative factors. For example, a score might be relatively high because the opportunity is moving quickly through the stages compared to other opportunities. The Einstein Opportunity Scoring Model just got better this summer release. When building the Opportunity Scoring Model, Einstein now looks at the product, quote, and price booked objects in addition to all standards and custom fields in the opportunity objects, the event related opportunities, and related account object. The result is more accurate model that is capable of discovering patterns that may influence the likelihood of a deal closing. Lead scoring allows you to sort and prioritize your leads based on those who are most likely to convert. It also provides the reasons behind each score and the overall top factors that have correlation to conversion in your organization. This summer release, we are able to deliver scores for all with lead scoring global models. Now, any customer can use lead scoring product regardless of their data size and history. Let artificial intelligence help you maintain your relationship with customers. With Einstein Account Insights, you and your team can stay informed about key business developments such as M&A, leadership changes, and company expansion. Getting this information in the right context at the right time can help you trigger better customer conversions and create upsell opportunities. The system monitors over 100,000 news sources around the web to ensure the best news coverage for your accounts. The insights can be consumed almost everywhere: homepage, record pages, list views, and reports. For Summer 20th, the Einstein Account Insights feature has added a new cutting cost insight. This new insight helps sales teams stay aware of key business developments regarding their key accounts by letting reps know when companies are cutting costs. For example, customer can use this in Einstein Account Insight List View to get a review of all their accounts that might be impacted by this insight. As with other account insights, cost-cutting insights appear with articles from English language news sources. Reps have automated technology, but sales leaders are stuck with spreadsheets and complicated systems. Right now, 50% of deals don't close as forecasting. Salesforce is cracking this problem. In this release, we continue to support sales leaders to accurately predict their forecast. Now, I would like to take the time for a call to action. If you have run the assessor at any point in the past, we highly encourage you to run it again. Now that we have simplified the requirements for some of Sales Cloud Einstein features. Emails are not threaded in the email detail page. Emails are not threaded either when Einstein Activity Capture is disabled. EWS proxy is the ability to set up a Microsoft Exchange endpoint to provide you with more control on how it will connect with your email server. It will allow synchronization without the need to expose email servers to the internet, addressing the primary security concerns raised by most enterprise customers. Here are Sales Cloud Einstein and Productivity Roadmap highlights. Einstein Lead Scoring Global Models. Einstein Opportunity Scoring AI for Everyone is available. Einstein Insights introducing Product Quota Pricebook as a signal. And we continue making Einstein Activity Capture enterprise ready with enhanced sync performance and streamlined setup and administration. Thank you everyone for joining me for the Sales Cloud Einstein and Productivity release highlights. I look forward to hearing your questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it over back to Elena.
All right, let's just dive straight into questions now because we've got a bunch of them queued up. Thanks for asking. So let's just start with some questions about the Kanban. So this first one is from John. Can the Kanban inline editing solution be available for custom objects, or will that be available in the future?
That's a great question. So by inline editing, if you're referring to the detail panel on the side, we are using the path configuration. So key fields and guidance are supported on a long list of standard objects as well as custom objects, and they'll be able to inline edit custom objects in Kanban on the side there.
Great, thank you. So the next question is from Anne. Where do you set the key field for the split screen panel?
Again, so what we thought about this process is we wanted to keep a consistent experience between your path configuration and your Kanban configuration. So if you've used a path component in your org, you have the ability to set up key fields and guidance, and that's been out from the beginning of Lightning. But what we've done is we've exposed those same key fields and guidance in Kanban view. And that way, as an admin, you only have to configure it once. You don't have to maintain two different places. And as a user, you see the same best practices and same key fields, whether you're moving an opportunity in Kanban board or on a path.
Great, thanks for clarifying that. And then here's one that came in last Friday as we started with the admin preview and the developer preview. Can we set the default opportunity list view to the Kanban for all users?
So I've heard this feedback before, and it's something that I need to talk to Jeff Davis and the list team because that is really their world. And what we allow you to do right now is pin a list view, but we need to look at the data from the list view side to see, does an admin want that kind of control? Because that would fall on the admin side to set the default, and that's not available on list views, split views, or Kanban right now. So I'll definitely follow up with them. But for now, the way you would do it is just tell your users to pin the Kanban view, and then that will be the default landing.
Gotcha. Now here's one for Madeline from Cindy. Can we create a report that shows detailed email engagement? For example, she says she likes to send emails on Monday and Wednesday to leads and contacts, and then follow up with those that had viewed the email more than once. And also, she also wanted to know if link clicks would be reportable.
Yes, great question. So if you've got the high velocity sales license, there's out of the box reporting for email engagement. So you'll be able to track all of that, including link clicks with that high velocity sales license. If you're just working with an inbox license to do email tracking and link clicks, then there's no reporting available today, but that's on our near-term roadmap. And you can always leverage the existing out-of-the-box email reporting using the HTML status field.
Okay, great. So, and a related question from Joseph, will the email engagement information be available as summary info on the account or in account reports, or will it affect the last activity dates on accounts? For example, let's say the last activity is an email sent on Monday, 15 days ago, let's say, and then the email was read yesterday. Would the last activity reflect that email engagement or when the email was sent?
Yeah, great question. I actually saw this one pop up on the Trailblazer community already. And again, it depends on what configurations you're using in your org. So I'll provide a more detailed answer on the group there that you can check out. But at a high level, it will record the email engagement on both those related records and also on the email record itself.
Got it. And Madeline, you mentioned the inbox licensing gives you certain capabilities. So Philip wanted to know, for the Outlook integration, will you need an inbox license to be able to attach emails from shared inboxes?
Great question. No, you will not. It will be a capability that's available for the base Outlook integration functionality, and you will not need an inbox license to leverage that.
Good to know. Lots of interest in this, Madeline. So one more for you from Rakesh. Is it possible to view email tracking for Salesforce inbox in the Salesforce mobile app?
Great question. Yes, it is. That's, I'm sorry, the Salesforce inbox mobile app, yes. So in the Salesforce mobile app, not available yet today, but in the inbox mobile app, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And that is a separate app, right? The inbox app.
Yes.
Right. It's not the standard Salesforce app. And you normally would get that if you have inbox licenses.
Correct.
Yeah. Christopher wanted to know, regarding email and Lightning, are we able to modify the Lightning record page?
That's a good question. I will have to follow up on that if you're talking about the email record page. I don't believe it's customizable today, but I can respond on the Trailblazer group as well.
It's a good one. And Randy wanted to know what other, so this is an HBS question. So what other add-ons or integrations are required for call coaching aside from high velocity sales?
Rami, do you want to take that one?
Sorry, you need me to repeat it?
Yes,
No, I said
for
it's more of a question for Rami.
Sure. For high velocity sales, like we said in the demo, we actually, all you need is to have Lightning Dialer. You can connect other telephony providers using our partner Tenfold, or we have an API. So the only requirement is to stream the calls and have a license for high velocity sales.
Okay, let's stay on you now for this next one. From Brian, will call coaching be included with HVS, or do you have to pay an additional fee for that?
So the good news is it's bundled. This is part of HVS, and you don't have to pay any additional fees. As long as you have HVS licenses installed and the Lightning Dialer, then you're good to go.
Great. And Jennifer was wondering, is there any potential in the future for us to be able to readjust the steps in a cadence rather than creating a whole new one?
We're definitely looking at that possibility. We've heard that request a lot. Today, what we recommend people do is they clone a cadence and then can modify the cadence and then reactivate it. But currently active cadences are not able to be modified. But we have looked into that and are definitely considering the possibility of making that available.
I could see why they would need that. You know, it's a lot quicker than redoing. So a question about Einstein opportunity scoring from Christopher. It looks like it's included, but Einstein lead scoring requires an add-on license. Is that correct?
Yes, that's a great question. Einstein opportunity scoring is available now on a rolling basis. Einstein lead scoring require a license.
Gotcha. Another email question from Joseph. He says, will threaded emails be helping consolidate duplicate cases? So that this might be, maybe we may want to take this one tomorrow for Service Cloud, but if you happen to know if any of these if this email functionality might help with that sort of issue with Service Cloud case emails.
Yeah, so it's a great question. I can follow up tomorrow on that.
Got it. So we'll follow up in the community, Joseph, hopefully if you posted your question there. And it's a great one though, because I know that certainly the email add-on can be used in either sales or service. We just tend to cover it more in Sales Cloud, but all right. So lots of interest in the big deal alerts. So thank you for sharing that. And another Kanban question from Friday. In the show more details on the Kanban view, do you need to set up the fields in-app guidance in order to edit the fields? I think that was the question.
No, as I said, the only place you have to set it up will be path. So if that record type, pick list, object combination has a path, key fields, and guidance already configured, you'll actually see this action added to your list header for your users. So if you already have this set up for a path on any object that's supported, you don't have to do anything. Your users will see this in the corner. You just have to train them on this new functionality that exists in Kanban view.
Okay, gotcha. Another one from Friday, also about Kanban. Are there any plans to integrate more with Trello? For example, having functionality to add multiple cards and display more than 4 fields. The person who was asking that said that would be a huge improvement.
Yeah, I love that question. It really makes us think outside of the box. I love Trello. It has a ton of project management functionality, and we're thinking across the board, what can Kanban do for sales, service, custom objects? But that's a perfect example of reaching out to me in the community or on Twitter and share some of the details, and maybe there's some functionality that we can bring over to Kanban. For the second half, for updating inline editing, one of the reasons we brought key fields from Path over to Kanban is we've gotten this feedback that users wanted to inline edit the 4 fields on the Kanban card. And we thought by bringing key fields over, we're really allowing you to have 5 fields per stage. So you have the ability to inline edit, but significantly more fields than the 4 on the card. So we're sticking with the key fields on the side. We don't plan to allow you to inline edit on the cards.
Okay, great, thanks. Now, a couple of questions for AJ. Does high velocity sales require you to be on Lightning?
Yes, it does. So all of the page layouts and views are all based on Lightning console views. And so Lightning is a big add to it and really kind of is critical to the experience.
Okay. Now, what if you want to save time? Can you add leads to a cadence automatically?
Yes, so we do support API connections to our cadences. And so you could use Process Builder to kind of automatically add leads based on certain criteria.
Right. And can you also in high velocity sales see who opened your emails?
Yes, so we are leveraging some of the email capabilities through Einstein Activity Capture to see things like email opens, email insights, link clicks, email replies. So a whole suite of engagement signals.
Okay. Now, there's a question for Sharon. Which SCE features are freemium and which are an add-on?
That's a great question. So we have on the Sales Cloud Einstein and productivity piece, 2 features that are available for free. The first one is the Sales Cloud Einstein feature, which is Einstein Opportunity Scoring. This feature is available for free since spring 20th. Basically, we're doing a gradual rollout, so any customer who wants to know his eligibility to the feature can contact his account team or maybe open support ticket. Our second feature is Einstein Activity Capture Standard, which basically give you 100 users which you can assign if you have a Sales Cloud. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And how often do you have to replace or train the models and how accurate are they?
So the Sales Cloud Einstein features are mature, and during the time when we first, went GA with those features a couple of years ago, we had a lot of opportunities to work with customers, especially enterprise customers. Most of our customers tested our models' performance against their homegrown solutions, and we can safely say that we feel very comfortable with the accuracy of our features. And we have learned, through the years by working with many big customers that our models sometimes even perform better than homegrown solutions. So one of the ways that have contributed to our accuracy is the fact that we go ahead and retrain our models every 10 days. And then we pick the one that is the most accurate for your org. So this is one of the things that supporting the accuracy.
Wow, that's good to know. Now, what about global support? Do all customers get the global models, and are account insights only in English-speaking countries, or are they available in other languages?
So the first part of the question for global models will be GA right now in lead scoring, but it's also in the roadmap for Einstein opportunity scoring. Basically, most customers should be eligible for global models lead scoring because we removed most of the barriers of the required data shape for that. And it's one of the things that we got, the most feedback about, that a lot of customers wants to enable our products, but they cannot do so because we have requirements. So we did a lot of research in order to kind of remove all those barriers. So global models will be available for all the customers that will answer the newest requirements that are very, very minimal. And the second question about account insights is using multiple sources. All of them are English-based sources, but since we work with many reliable sources, customers from countries, like Germany or Holland can also get a lot of value from using this feature because we can cover news that happened in one of those countries since it's covered in the English source as well.
Got it. Thanks. Okay, I got a couple here I think it's for Rami. In Lightning Dialer, is there a best practice for setting up keywords?
So setting up keywords, as we said, we have the competitor and products which are relevant to the company, to your company. So it's important for the customer to set them up because we cannot identify them otherwise. And once you set this up, listening to competitor may bring up an objection, and listening to a product may bring up the way that the rep is making their pitch and how the customer responds to the pitch. Furthermore, it's very beneficial to define also specific keywords. For example, although we have next steps and pricing out of the box, if you want to track a specific moment, like when someone says the word expensive or quote, or when there is a specific action item like sending me more information, then you can set up this specific custom keyword to make sure that you're listening to these moments. And this can actually make your work much more productive.
Good, thank you. Now on the dashboard, can I filter that by sales rep or even by a specific mention?
Yes, for sure. So you can filter the dashboard, the main dashboard, and also the mention dashboard by a specific rep to follow up their specific calls and the mentioned in their calls, and also by specific mention across all the calls, even more than one mention. So for example, a next step or competitor and another keyword. And that brings up specifically the conversations that contain these mentions.
Right. And is there any way to see how a keyword is trending over time, or multiple keywords?
Yeah. So in the mention dashboard, there is like when you select a certain keyword, there's another chart showing how this mention is trending over time. So you can, for example, see if a certain product or from competitor was mentioned more or less from month over month.
Got it. Let me just flip over to Aria for a minute. Do you plan to increase forecast type limits to match the new split type limit?
We definitely do. And a lot of customers want additional forecast types because they have additional split types. So with increased splits, we think that's going to be a bigger request. So that's definitely on the forecasting team's roadmap. I do know there is a pilot. So if you are a forecasting customer and you're going to use the new split limit and you'd like more forecast times, reach out to your account team and they can work with the PM to increase the limit for you.
Great. Okay, we got two more. Looks like a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up, and we'll be back again a little bit later with Einstein Analytics. So Rakesh wants to know if Einstein Inbox supports threaded email without HBS, or is there any future plan for that? I think that might be for you, Madeline.
Yeah, I was confused about the question because the threading capabilities that I talked about are specific to sending cadences with high velocity sales. So
Right.
there's a few different threading functionalities in Lightning today, and they all kind of refer to different things. For example, the ability to view emails in a threaded view in Lightning, for example. So what I was mentioning was specific to sending emails in a high velocity sales cadence.
Okay, I think
so perhaps we can follow up on clarifying that question in the community group.
I think there are also two instances that I mentioned in mine. So first, in the activity timeline, we're able to thread emails there, and then also in the compose email and the manual send functionality. So in all three of those places, we're able to thread emails. The second place in that activity timeline is specific to Einstein activity capture, though.
Interesting. So it sounds like we may need a little summary about how threading works in the various different contexts, because it seems like, it may work slightly differently depending on whether you're using HBS or Inbox or standard activity timeline. So, but I think Rakesh was specifically asking about Inbox and whether threading will be supported there, or is it supported there? I'm not sure if you have any comment on that or if you want to follow up.
I would say let's talk more about that one in the community group to clarify the question. Yeah.
Well, Rakesh will be there waiting for you.
Yeah, I've seen his posts already. I'll be there soon.
Okay, so Jennifer asked, is there any future roadmap to set up the recordings so that they will only record in states where you don't have to give the disclaimer? For example, our reps don't use, she says our reps don't use it currently because in their experience, when you give the disclosure, your recording people will hang up.
So this is a Lightning dialog feature that's probably on their roadmap, and we should follow up with them. But that should be possible. That would be a CTI, like the telephony provider feature, rather than the call coaching feature, which is doing the post-processing analysis.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can actually, sorry, I can hop in there
thanks.
from the Lightning dialer standpoint. It is on the roadmap soon to be able to offer consent management based on state. So that is roadmap for Lightning dialer. But again, as Rami mentioned, there are open CTI providers as well.
All right, fantastic. So I just have one final question, and then we're going to wrap it up because we got just about 1 more minute left here. So Randy wants to know, what other pilots should we know about? And if you want to throw anything else on the roadmap that you haven't already covered, feel free to do that as well.
I can jump in around a potential roadmap. We are, as I said, working on mobile forecasting, and right now we have iOS read-only for viewing, but in winter we plan to have it for Android, and then next spring we're planning on bringing forecasting adjustments onto mobile.
Anybody else?
Yeah, we are planning to add in the roadmap support for video conferences. So anyone who wants to jump in for a pilot for Zoom, please approach me after the call.
Okay. that about it? Okay.
If there's no other takers, I'll throw in one more.
All right, go for it.
we are working on lookups on opportunity products, and I had that on my slide. If you took part in the prioritization exercise on the community, this time it actually flipped and opportunities to a queue came above. So we're going to start working on that too. So you're going to end up getting both of those features in the coming releases.
Well, you're going to hear from Randy on that one for sure. So all right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We are going to wrap it up for now. We're going to be back in about an hour for Einstein Analytics. Apologize for the delay and the flip-flop of the schedule here today. We had some unavoidable technical issues that we just kind of had to make a last-minute decision. So appreciate you all sticking with us and coming back. And I'm just going to show just a quick slide here as we go out.